The government has made it very clear that we are to stay at home unless we need to go and make an essential trip. But we are allowed to go for one form of daily exercise. However, it doesn't seem that this rule just applies for us. Last week, a flamingo was spotted on the streets of Dudley after it managed to escape from the zoo to go for a walk. I mean, she clearly had enough of the lockdown, but how inconsiderate. We have to deal with the lockdown, so should you. Come to think of it, why would you leave an enclosure which is specifically made to be like the habitat you like and go out onto the streets of Dudley? It's not exactly the most beautiful place in the world. Naturally, residents whipped out their phone to take a video of the flamingo, and before long, it was doing the rounds on social media. I love that the instinctive reaction is to think of Twitter and Instagram. I hope you wouldn't do that for a tiger, because if you did, you would go extinct. Because that is dodo behaviour. Eventually, someone notified the zoo, and keepers were at the scene within minutes to retrieve the rebellious bird and take her back to captivity. The zoo released an online statement saying this: "One of our flamingos did not stick to the stay safe, stay home message and decided to take her daily exercise via Castle Hill. Our keepers were on the scene within minutes and safely returned the flamingo back to their enclosure, where she is now once again self-isolating." The flamingos were in their outside enclosure when the weather suddenly turned blustery and a gust of wind carried one of the flock out of its enclosure. We are pleased to confirm that the flamingo suffered no ill effects and is happily eating her breakfast this morning. Wonderful. However, it's not the first time that flamingos have been the subject of a zoo escape. They seem to be repeat offenders, apparently. In 2005, one managed to escape a zoo in Kansas. You would have thought that it would have been quite easy to spot a bird like that in the middle of the United States, but apparently it took 8 years for anyone to track him down. The bird was actually found 650 miles away in Texas's Gulf Coast. He actually managed to find a female who had done the same thing from a nature preserve in Mexico. So both organizations met up and they decided that they were going to let these two flamingos go and live the rest of their lives in freedom. Still a better love story than Twilight. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Not So Miserable News. If you would like to be notified whenever I'm uploading a video, then be sure to subscribe by hitting my face. It's going to be right here. If you want to see the episode that this clip is from in its entirety, then click here. And if you want to see the latest episode of the Not So Miserable News, then click on this side. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.